Hey guys, welcome to Batch TV. My name's Landry and I'm the community manager at Batch Service. And today we're going over lists you can pull with included skip tracing and batch leads. Check this out. So we're going to keep today's video really high level and just go over a few lists we haven't talked a ton about here on Batch TV. If you are looking for something different or different types of lists to pull, you can find them on Batch TV, but really so many people don't realize that you can actually go to the B in the bottom left-hand corner of both Batch Leads and Batch Dialer to find all of our up-to-date videos and articles. Be sure to always look at the date in the description of any video you watch here on Batch TV. We're constantly going through updates, and our help articles are the best place to go for up-to-date resources. So we're going to jump into property search. This is essentially where you can pull list of addresses, just depending on who you're trying to focus in on. Maybe you're looking for people that are likely to accept a cash offer, or people that might want to list with you, or maybe just need your services, depending on what you're using Batch Leads for. So we're going to go through a quick example, and then we'll pull a tired landlords list, an inherited list, and an empty nesters list. I'm going to go ahead and reset some of my filters here and just start from the beginning. Basically, what you're going to do is either search an area, that could be an address, city, state, zip code, or county, or use the boundary tool on the bottom left. And we're going to stick with Phoenix, Arizona. Let's just go to type that out, grab it from the drop down. And typically the next thing you'll do is choose your strategy, depending on what you're using Batch Leads for. Let's look for off-market properties. And a lot of what we're talking about today are going to be in your quick filters. The more people you talk to and hear about what's working really well for them, the more familiar these quick lists will become. A lot of the best lists to pull are hiding right there in your quick filters, and you have the ability to make them your own with your additional filters and using something like batch rank on top of it. But let's go ahead and pull these tired landlords. So essentially what you're doing in Batch Leads is choosing where you want to go, choosing what kind of the foundation for the types of properties you're looking for is, and then you're going to start applying filters. So the most efficient way to pull data in Batch Leads is by grabbing a quick filter, selecting the properties, and then saving them into your account. And every single property you save in Batch Leads is going to have all inclusive contact information. So as soon as you have them in your database, you'll get phone numbers and email addresses with no additional cost, which is really great. If you want to, you can definitely grab these lists and apply additional filters on top of them. If you go to all filters, you could definitely specify the types of homes, the years owned, the equity percentage, and you can use batch rank if you're using the off-market option as your strategy to find property owners that have a higher likelihood of being motivated to sell. It's basically using a proprietary algorithm to find property owners with multiple distress indicators. So it makes your job really easy to find good data really quick. But let's turn this off for now. So tired landlords are absentee owned single family properties that have been owned for at least 10 years and they were built at least 30 years ago. Something like this already has a ton of filters applied, but you can make it your own, or once again, use batch rank on top of it. Let's go ahead and use this. And the level you can go up to is going to depend on your plan. If you're in the growth plan, you'll only be able to go up to the medium tier, but if you're in a higher one like professional or scale, you can go all the way up to most likely if you wanted to and put that on top. Let's go ahead and stick with the medium tier for now. Select those results and then save them into our account. I'll show the two other lists here in a moment, but let's select them, save the properties. You can definitely save agents in here too. Save the list in a really straightforward way. I think of my list as my main categories and my tags as my subcategories. So my lists are really straight to the point, and then my tags have a little bit more detail. So with my list, I'm just going to name it Tired Landlords. And I do have something existing in my account that I'm going to use. But if you're just getting started, you're just going to type out the name and then create it as a new list. Let's put it here. And for my tag, I still want to reference the list name so it's kind of tied together, and then make note of where I got the information and when I got it as well. Create that as a new tag and click save. Before I show the two other lists, it's as easy as going into my list to get that contact information. As long as you've saved your properties in a really nice organized way, just go up to the list and tag section at the top of the screen, find your list or tag. Here's mine right here. And we do have this blurred for YouTube, but I already have the phone numbers and email addresses. I can even see if somebody's on the national do not contact list when I click on the details here, And when I export the list, I will see that detail in my spreadsheet. So I don't have to worry about any of that information being missed with that being included. I don't have to worry about any additional cost. I can immediately start taking action on these properties, and I can keep track of the distress indicators and the level of batch rank it falls under. Like this is under a high batch rank level and it's a tired landlord. You have a ton of other things too, like the comping tool, the owner profile of all of their properties they own, and so much more. But just to talk about the other two lists that you can pull, you're always going to go through a very similar flow by typing in an area, choosing your strategy, and then using your filters to apply what you're looking for. For this next list, we're going to reset everything and just look for maybe off-market inherited properties. Let's make sure batch rank is turned off as well, just depending on what you're looking for. But this is typically a much smaller list. And we're going to go over to the right, and there it is. These homeowners could be facing a lot of financial burdens and maybe just need to offload that property. Could be in a lot of disrepair depending on the situation, but grab the quick filter, apply additional things if you want to, like in the property characteristics, like maybe residential single family. If it's not already applied, like something like tired landlords, it's already done for you. This is where you're going to go through all of these different sections and make it your own. There's a lot you can do. I always say to take your time, because you'll miss out on things that are available to you if you're just skimming through. So go through each of these categories. Check out the Help Center too to help guide you through all of the different areas. Let's see our properties. I would then select them, save them into my account under an inherited list, and the tag would probably be inherited Phoenix November, for example. For our last example, this is not going to be a quick filter. This is going to be something that's very custom called empty nesters or downsizers. And what's really nice though, and I'll show you how to do this, but after you've applied a ton of different filters, you can save the criteria and make your own if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and go through a similar flow. Search your area. We'll stick with Phoenix. Choose your strategy. We're going to go with off market. And instead of using any of my quick filters, we're just going to immediately open this all filters section. Something people don't realize about this area is that you can actually stack lists on top of each other in this specific drop down. So I could find property owners that are not only vacant, but they've also failed off the market. They also have high equity, etc. You could do that even with your tired landlords list that we talked about earlier. Maybe they're tired landlords, but they failed to sell in the past few months. So don't miss out on using your quick filters to stack lists too. But let's look for owner-occupied properties. With this downsizer or empty nesters list, we're going to be looking for older property owners that live there that may consider downsizing because they don't really need the property they're at anymore. Maybe they at one point had all of their children there and now they all moved out. So that's kind of what we're painting here in this list, this custom list of addresses. We'll do owner-occupied. In property characteristics, let's look for only residential single-family homes. Maybe we apply a bedrooms and bathrooms filter, like a minimum of 4 bedrooms if we wanted to. I typically skip that and I do more of the living square footage, the living space. So let's do like a minimum of 2,200 square feet, for example. The year build, let's say that we do want them to need a little bit of TLC, a little bit of work. So we could say maybe a max year build of 2,000. Just example, you can make this your own, of course. The stories is really big for this list because we're looking for maybe property owners that really don't have a purpose to go upstairs anymore. Maybe that's where all of the kids' bedrooms were, and maybe it's just a pain to have to go up the stairs to get things, and they're air conditioning this big space. So this is kind of the idea behind some of these filters that I'm applying. So let's do a minimum of 2 stories or 2 levels. There's a lot of other categories, but we're going to skip over some of them and go down to ownership info. Maybe a minimum of 7 years owned. Just make sure they've been owned for a good amount of time. Didn't just recently sell. And maybe under ownership type, we want to make sure these are individuals, not necessarily like a company. And then equity percentage, maybe we'll make sure that they have a lot of equity within their property, like minimum of 50%. And finally, down in demographics, let's apply an age of the owner. Let's do like a minimum years of 60 years old. You could apply a household size, maybe a max of 2 people are living there now, if they have children, etc. Make sure you watch out to see if batch rank is turned on if you want a larger list. Sometimes it turns on by default. Every time you're looking for off-market opportunities, that's going to pop up and appear. So I'm going to take that off for now, but if you wanted to, you could definitely put that on top to find property owners in your criteria that you've applied that have a higher likelihood of being motivated to sell. So still use this in tandem. It's up to you on what you're trying to pull within your account. So you could then select them and save them into your account. But if you want to create your own quick filters, there's going to be that save search button in the bottom right hand corner where you can save your own. I'm just going to name this downsize. For example, you could save up to 5 of your own kind of front of mind map quick filters, or if you run out of room or you don't want them there, there's going to be a more hidden section in the top right hand corner under saved searches. So let's go ahead and save all of this criteria. You already saw how to save the properties earlier. This is just for the filter set. So it makes your life so much easier when you go to pull a list and you don't have to remember all of the criteria you used. See your properties, select them and save them. Also, just to call out where that save search is going to be up here in the top right when you're viewing your filters. You can always edit them, delete them, and change things up if you want. Let's check these out. So as soon as you save properties in Batch Leads, you'll have the all included contact information. So you can start taking action as soon as possible. And that goes for anything you save through property search, through driving routes, so virtual driving for dollars here on the desktop or on the mobile app if you'd like to take that out on the go with you, through agent outreach, that's going to have its own separate section, of course, and also through importing an outside file. As soon as things are saved into your account, you'll have those included phone numbers and email addresses. There you guys have it. If you end up having questions or you liked today's video, drop a comment down below and hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and find the link in the description so you can join the community. You can reach out to me for more clarification and network with amazing people nationwide. We hope to see you guys on the next episode.